But it seemed like you got a little more playing time in the second half there against Fresno, made some plays. I guess talk a little bit about getting some additional playing time and making some plays out there.
I just think that we had certain packages for Fresno and tried to do some different things and try to rush the passer, and I mean, it was good to get in there and play a little bit more in the second half and try to help this defense do what it has to do.
I assume you've already looked at film from that game. I mean, what do you pinpoint right now to the struggles maybe the defense is having a little bit?
I just think we got to get, obviously we got to get more pressure on the quarterback. There's a lot of things we got to do as a defense to improve. We did a good job against the run. That's always the first thing that we have to do. But I think as a defensive lineman, we got to pressure the quarterback. Like, that's what we do. We rush the passer. That's our job. And obviously on Friday night, we didn't do a great job of that.
What's not working as far as that aspect? I mean, is it getting off blocks? Is it you guys being double teamed a lot or chipped a lot? What's kind of preventing that from happening?
I just think we got to keep improving in that area. I think we're all coming along. We're all getting a little bit better at it. The offensive line, does things, or Fresno's offensive line did things well. Obviously, he got the ball out quick, and that was effective for him. So we just got to keep, trusting Coach Avalos and Coach K, their techniques and what they're telling us, and I think we'll get to where we need to be.
This defense has been so dominant for so long around here. How hard has this been to start the season the way you guys have defensively?
It's hard. I think as a player and as a member of the defense, you take a lot of pride in how things go out there, and it's been difficult. But that's the thing, man. It is a long season, and we love coming to work. That's the thing that they stress to us is as long as we keep competing, improving, coming to work every day with that mentality to just grind, then we believe things will start turning around in the right direction.
What's the biggest thing that's holding you guys back as a defense, you think?
I don't think anything's holding us back. I think we just have to keep trusting the process. I think we've got the guys, we've got the work ethic, we've got the best coaching staff, and we just got to trust them and not change anything we're doing. We can't mope around. We can't do any of that. There's a great tradition of defense here, and it's been done a certain way, and we can't change that.
There's been a lot made about all the guys you've lost the last couple of years, to the NFL and stuff, and you just have a lot of young, inexperienced guys, playing meaningful minutes for the first time. How much stock do you put into that as being maybe some of the contributing factors here?
We really can't use that as an excuse. I mean, guys gotta step up, guys gotta produce, and that's on me, that's on all of us. I think we gotta practice, we gotta practice great every week, every day, and we gotta study the film harder than we've ever studied it. And I think young, old, veteran, rookie, I mean, it's the same process.
On that final drive, was Fresno able to do something different? Did you guys try to mix it up? It seemed like there was a lot of cushion there and hoping to make tackles short of the line. Was there any changes made on that last drive?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, I remember going out there and doing the same thing I'd been trying to do all game. So.
Which spot were you playing there in the second half?
Defensive end.
Were you out there with DeMarcus or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Looked at Southern Miss much yet?
Yeah, we studied them a little bit this morning.
What do you see of their offense?
They do a good job. They got big guys. They got athletes. They're going to try to do different things than obviously Fresno did, and so that's where we got to have a good week and get back to it.
You talked about the defense not having not struggling like this in a while. That the team hasn't been 2-2 in a while. I mean, how's the mental side of the team? How are you guys holding up at this point?
I think we're holding up great. The thing is we got the guys and we got the attitude. Coach Pete is going to stress that to us to continue to trust the process, not mope around, and have fun with it. We're 2-2, but it's like I said, it's a long season, and we got to keep grinding and we got to keep trusting this process. I know I've said it a lot, but that's really the truth. When things aren't going your way, you gotta you can't change things right off the bat. You can't freak out. You gotta keep this process has been developed over a long period of time, and we'll get it right, and we have the right guys.
When you're looking at things that still fight forward and kind of goals, I would assume getting another chance at them might be top of the list.
Yes, sir.
It seems like you guys have had trouble dealing with quarterbacks that are maybe very athletic, the really upper level quarterbacks. what do you think you have to do better, because you're going to face some more guys that are really mobile?
Yeah, we will, and I think that's a problem for any defense in the country, facing a mobile quarterback, a quarterback that can make things happen with his feet. You know, as a defensive line, it comes down to, you know, keeping our rush lanes, but at the same time being aggressive, and that's something that we're going to have to focus on, I know, in the next couple of weeks.
With the quarterback in the shotgun car getting it out so quickly, does it get frustrating? Because, like you said, your job is to get out to the quarterback, but in a second and a half, 2 seconds, there's really not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think, you know, it is frustrating, but that's part of the game. That was obviously what they do really well. So, I would agree with that.
You focus on maybe getting your hands up, or is there?
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. You know, when they get the ball out quick, there's a lot of cut blocking, and as a defense line, we got to be able to get our hands to that cut block and, you know, try to knock down passes if we can, try to get in that throwing lane, and just obviously play the cut block really well.
What does Southern Miss do offensively?
They're gonna pass. They're gonna try to establish the run. They're a pretty balanced attack. I wouldn't say they pass, you know, as much as Fresno State. They'll try to run the ball, but you know, they do things obviously similar to any team that we've faced so far.
Beau, doing some on Charles Leno, and you've gone against him in practice for a long time. What stands out about him as an offensive lineman?
Charles does a lot of things great. I mean, he's got, you know, without even stepping on the field, he's got great length. I mean, his arms are just, it's tough to get around him like that. But his work ethic, his approach to the game is really what stands out. He does a great job. He gets after it. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, and he's obviously very athletic. So he's got a lot of things that big guys like that, you know, don't have.
A lot of young guys on your defense being called upon to play as freshman or sophomore. Any advice you might give them, or what do you think they need to do to take to the next level?
I think for me, when I think about what it takes is just practice. I mean, you know, I've had my ups and downs as a player, and I believe that it really comes down to practice. You have to come out to practice, you know, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and just really think of that as a game. Approach it like a game with that kind of intensity, like there's no tomorrow. And I think when you do that, it kind of makes the game a little easier in itself on, you know, Friday or Saturday. So, you know, you got to practice with that deliberate intent that Coach Pete talks to us about. I think that's the biggest key in terms of making that transition.
You made the extremely rare jump from Division II to Division I-A. What's it been like for you?
It's been a challenge, but that's exactly what I wanted. I have such a passion for this game, and that was just really, you know, what it came down to for me is I knew I only had really 5 years with a red shirt to see what I could do. And so it's been a challenge, and it's been exactly what I wanted. There's been ups, there's been downs, but you know, I still have this year and next year to continue to try and improve and see where I stand at the end of it all.
What's the biggest challenge been about making that jump? Just the athleticism of the opponent, or?
I think the athleticism. I think, you know, there's really good depth at the Division I level. You know, the obviously the first team guys are good. The second team guys are good too, and you know, obviously being consistent. You know, when I first came in, you know, I made some plays and I was able to make flashes, but being consistent is really the most important thing to these coaches and really as a player. And that's something that's taken me, obviously, a little bit to understand, is that to be able to be on the field and to make plays for this team and to help this defense, it comes down to consistency. And at the end of the day, it comes back to practice. You got to be consistent in practice. So.
You guys good?
Thanks, Bo.
Thank
Yep.
you.